Hello and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today we have a very exciting review. We have the Aston Martin Valkyrie from a brand new company called PosterCars. So we're going to have to take a closer look at this one and see if this brand is a brand to keep an eye out for and if this particular model is worth adding to your collection. Let's go ahead and get started with our casting. So, taking just a quick look at our proportions, they are really good. We look like an Aston Martin Valkyrie from every angle, and that looks really nice. We'll go ahead and plop it down here and put the real-life car up in the top right corner, just so we can kind of get a side-by-side of the two. And moving into our actual casting here, the first thing we should note is that all of the metal parts, what is die-cast, is very thin. So that should be something that we note because there is a lot of plastic on this as well. So getting started with what is plastic, our entire splitter section here, all of this under stuff is all plastic. This entire Venturi tunnel system and this massive skirt and everything is plastic, including back here on the back. Up top, obviously the windshield is plastic, but I believe this entire section here is also plastic. Hood scoop, roof scoop, all of this section is plastic. The metal, I believe the wing is still metal though, the little wing that we have back here. But other than that, if it's green, it's metal. If it's black, it is plastic, is what I have concluded. But other than that, we do have plastic inserts for our headlights. We do have, I'm not sure if they're inserts or if they're just a little piece right here for our taillights. They're very small, obviously. We do have a little piece inserted there for our license plate. All looks very good. We do even have holes. As you can see, I can impale the car entirely where there properly should be holes. So it's really actually kind of cool. Lots of little details. You can see there is a gap between the wing and the main body. So overall, just really, really nice for a car that's just, to be honest, the car is just a kind of an odd shape. And I think they executed it pretty good overall. For our paint and deco, so we just have a very simple kind of acid green color, which looks fantastic. This is a color you can get in real life on your Valkyrie if you are able to afford such a car. The ones I've seen in real life all have an orange stripe down here, at least the singular one I've seen. I'm sure there is at least one painted out there that looks exactly like this, and I'll see if I can find a picture of it. If not, though, we'll go ahead and put this down, and we'll put the one with the orange stripe on the roof up there in the corner so you can get a comparison. But if we take a closer look here, you can actually see there is almost a metal flake kind of look going on in the paint, so it's not just a flat kind of acid green. It looks really, really nice. It goes so well with the black roof, and overall just phenomenal job. I think this was probably the best or possibly the second best choice for color to go with this car. For our detail department, we actually have quite a bit to go over here. So starting up front, we do have our license plate. This little piece is not removable as far as I can tell. So if you don't like the look of the Valkyrie with a license plate on it, you're kind of stuck with it. But as you can look in up close, there is even detailing pretty deep inside here. The lighting is not working well. On top of these little dive plane things that just really give the illusion that there's a lot of tunneling and aerodynamic systems going in there that's going to help keep that car glued to the ground. We do have headlights. These are an insert, which look really good. We have our Aston Martin logo stamped on there, looking great. We have this little piece here, which as far as I can tell seems to be a piece of the interior. It could be painted on. I'm not 1000% sure on that. We do have our suspension bits kind of poking out there and looking good. These are a piece of, I believe, the base that's just kind of been painted where it should be. As we move down the roof here, we do have our our roof scoop here, which you can actually, as you can see, insert something into it because it's semi-functional, I guess, in a way. At least it looks it. Onto the sides here, we don't have any mirrors, but this car doesn't have mirrors in real life. It does have a camera system. It doesn't appear that we have any cameras, but if I'm correct, the cameras can kind of pop out or in real life, and so I'll just assume that they are in the inward position there. Moving down the sides here, this is kind of a little bit plain, a little bit blank, because the plastic, you just don't get much detailing there. We do have all of our body lines, though, looking good. As we make our way to the back, we do have taillight system. We do have a Valkyrie kind of license plate there. And we even have, like, this, I'm assuming this is where the exhaust is. And where, like, the reflector, I guess, the rain reflector, I call it, for Formula 1 car style would be. And then the bottom of the car here, we have this complex Venturi tunnel system looking absolutely amazing. This all being plastic kind of contributes to the lightweight feel of the car. On the sides here, we even have some extra things. So first off, we have these wheels that are very, very nice, very accurate to the real-life car. And then if you take a closer look, you can actually see inside of there is a rotor and also a little caliper in the same acid green that the rest of the car is in. That is, of course, on the back ones as well. It is a little bit hard to see, but it is there. So overall, our detailing is pretty good. Not much to critique in that department. For our roll test, this is an all-new brand, so I'm sure you're wondering how well it rolls, and I am here to say it actually rolls really, really nicely. I'd say it rolls on par with like a Kyosho or a Tarmac Work Global 64 model. Moving on to our pros and cons here. So a huge pro right out of the gate is you can get this one for about $10. So that is pretty good. That is cheaper than Mini GT. That is cheaper than Kyosho. That is cheaper than Tarmac Global 64. That is cheaper than Para 64. And you're getting a level of detail that is pretty close to on par with those. There is a bit more plastic, but the details are still there. And that is also our second big pro, is that the details are very nicely there. There is some things that you don't get that other brands might have included, but then you also get the rotors and the calipers inside the wheels there, which is something that you don't normally get on 1/64th. The third big pro that I'm going to give this one is the accuracy of the proportions and everything. Like, this is the first time that this car has made its way to 1/64th, and they pretty much nailed it. And backing off of that point, that's our final big pro, is that as of right now, this is the only 1/64th Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is really surprising to me because this car is such a popular and such a good-looking car that you would have thought a lot more brands would have tackled it by now. There is a Mini GT coming. When that one gets here, we'll take a look at that one. But for right now, this is the only one that is available in this scale. For our cons, though, we do have a couple. The biggest thing I'm going to say is there is just a lot of plastic in this casting. I get they had to keep the price down a little bit, but it really gives off a fragile kind of vibe, and it is extremely lightweight as I drop it on the ground. It's extremely lightweight. It gives off a fragile vibe because of all the plastic. I get that the Venturi tunneling system, maybe that was better to do that in plastic, but I think this roof section here probably could have been die-cast and would have made the overall feel a little bit better. But that's the only real con that I've got for this one. Moving into some quick size comparisons. Here we have it with some other Aston Martins you might have in your collection, with the Hot Wheels Aston Martin Valhalla Concept and the Tarmac Works Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. And here we have it with some other track-friendly supercars that you might have in your collection, with the Hot Wheels Porsche 935 and the recently reviewed Tomica Lamborghini Essenza. As always, any of these cars that I use for comparisons are already on my Instagram. If you want to head over there and check them out up close and personal, feel free to do so at Little Scale Cars. So now it's time to give my overall thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 9.6 out of 10. So the bar has been set very, very high for the Aston Martin Valkyrie in 1/64th. I think it could have been a little bit better. I do think the Mini GT has some room for improvement, especially with just being metal in some places. The large plastic portions there are, as you can see, is it looks a little scratched up here. These large plastic chunks lead themselves to just a little bit of imperfection, not the worst thing ever. I also think that perhaps we could have gotten some more carbon fiber in certain spots, perhaps something like that. But for the $10 price tag, I don't really have any real complaints. I would say that this is borderline perfect, especially since this is a brand new company in the 1/64th scale space. And I think it's something we should really, the brand itself is a brand that we should really keep our eyes on. And as far as this model goes, you should definitely add it to your collection. I know there's a Mini GT coming, and the Mini GT might be better than this, but in the time between now and then, this is excellent, and you'll be missing it if you do not have it in your collection. That's all I have for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video.